Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video you'll get some exclusive behind the scenes insights into my performances at the Cycling Tour of Turkiye. And I will explain why I had some nerve-wracking moments expecting my tire to explode several times. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. We flew from my hometown Stuttgart in Germany to Antalya, Turkey. When we arrived at the airport, we had to take the bike out of the flight case because the box was too big for the car. At the hotel, I quickly assembled my bike because my first show was already in less than 15 hours. At the following day, the Cycling Tour of Turkey started and had its finish in Antalya. Since it was my first time performing at the cycling tour, we first had to discuss when and where it would be best for me to perform, and then I wanted to start practicing. The mechanics were still assembling the structure around the finish line, which is why during my rehearsal there were already many people around and forklifts were driving through my performance area. Since almost everyone around was filming my tricks with their smartphones, I had no time for a calm and relaxed rehearsal. Instead, I was already eager to perform all my tricks flawlessly. So I went ahead and executed all the tricks I needed to feel prepared for my performance. Then we went back to take a break in the shadow of a truck. So this is like my backstage area where I have my bike and stuff and where I will later warm up a little bit. But to be honest, I don't really need to warm up because it's really hot today. We have 28 degrees Celsius. So keep your fingers crossed that my tires won't explode on the hot street. Spontaneously, I joined the live stream of the Tour of Turkey on their social media channels and enjoyed the incredible view of the sea from up there. There was still some time left until my scheduled performance, so that's why I enjoyed the delicious food in the VIP area. Finally, the wait was over and I performed at the finish line of the first stage of the cycling tour. It was a lot of fun to showcase my tricks in a line down the street. Normally, I usually ride in circles, but this time the spectators were lined up along the fence, so I rode alongside it. After my performance, many spectators wanted to take photos with me, and I was happy to do so. Shortly after that, the cyclists completed their first stage of the cycling tour, and I was truly impressed by their speed. From the VIP area, we watched the awards ceremony, and before we headed to the next city, we took a stroll to the old harbor of Antalya. And we really enjoyed the view there. You have to visit it as well when you are in Antalya. It was there that we met our driver again and drove to our next hotel to Kaş. In Kaş, we had a beautiful hotel next to the sea. So the next day, there was no performance for me with my artistic bike planned. And that's why we spent half of the day in the hotel enjoying the crystal clear water of the Mediterranean Sea. In the afternoon then, we drove to the finish line of the second stage in Kalkan. So I'm now in Kalkan. Here is the end of the second stage of the Cycling Tour of Turkey. In the back you can see the winner's podium. So in about 1 hour the cyclists will be here and we will know who won the second stage of the tour. And yeah, today I don't have a show, so I'm just here as a spectator and I'm looking forward to the cyclists arrive. So the cyclists just ended their race and I'm so much impressed by their performances. I mean, they ride every day here many kilometers in the heat of Turkey. This is just insane. And now it's time for the winner ceremony. Out of nowhere, someone came and presented me with these beautiful flowers from the award ceremony, which made me incredibly happy. After the award ceremony, our driver took us to Ölüdeniz. It was the only city during the tour where we stayed for 2 nights. This was our lovely hotel room with a stunning view. Also, the next day I didn't have an artistic bike show scheduled, so we decided to walk down to the beach. Is it a German thing that I always prefer to walk everywhere? Let me know in the comments. The beach and the landscape were amazing, and I'm now considering it for a vacation spot in the coming years, also because the weather was perfect in October. We even took a dip in the sea and then walked back up to our hotel to watch the cyclists tackle the uphill climb. To reach the finish line of the 3rd stage of the cycling tour, we took the cable car up to Babadag mountain. While we ascended in the cable car, the cyclists had to pedal their way up. What a tough stage. Fortunately, the riders got to use the cable car for their descent after the race. We spent another night in Ölüdeniz and the following day we drove to Marmaris, where I had my next performance. So we drove from Fethiye to Marmaris now in 2.5 hours, and now we arrived in Marmaris and it's really beautiful, as you can see. Now I need to find out where I will perform today, if it's in front of the stage or at the finish line. So I will check that now and then I will practice. So on this street I will perform later probably. Now I need to practice because, as you can see here, the street, the surface is a little bit tricky because if my tire stuck in those things, this could get tricky. So let's see. Okay, so I decided that I will ride here because here is kind of a smooth area where I can do my spins. But the bad thing about riding here means that I also need to ride over this, which is like a huge bump, and there's also the danger of like that there's sharp material which could make my tire explode. So keep your fingers crossed that it will work out for my performance later. Right after my rehearsal, a radio host invited me to join his live show. So that's how I ended up giving a live radio interview just a few minutes later. I'm really thankful that they contacted me and so that they asked me if I want to be part of it.
Bunun içerisinde olmak çok güzel. Bu yarışları takip etmek.
Once again, in the shadow of the truck, I had a spot where I could stretch and prepare for my performance. A few moments later, I showcased my tricks in front of the audience. I was relieved that everything worked out well, despite the challenging surface and the risk of getting a flat tire. Shortly after that, the riders finished the 4th stage of the Tour of Turkiye. And once again, they impressed with their speed. We watched the award ceremony and then headed to the next stage of the Cycling Tour of Turkiye, Bodrum. We arrived there just in time to catch the sunset. What happened in Bodrum and why I think that there must exist hundreds of videos of mine and why I almost had to cancel my show at the final stage in Istanbul, I will reveal in part 2 of my vlog of the Cycling Tour of Turkiye. Thank you for watching this video and be sure to check out part 2 as well. Also, if you don't want to miss any of my new videos, then subscribe to my channel. I wish you an amazing day.